hopefully this will work because they actually died in the camera while I was trying to make this. Okay, I'm 7 years on HRT today. Great. I've been in my current place for over 13 months. I'm still adapting. I've had the warmest winter I've ever had in over 15 years. So, yay. There's still some transphobic arse who's banging on the doors and windows. Whoever it is, I wish I could go up and get a life. There's been no political progress in regards to my transition, sadly, with the pandemic, and that appointments have been very few and far between. Extremely few and far between, and most have been limited to phone calls. So there's been no political progress there. My PIP appeal was unsuccessful because I live alone. It was automatically assumed that I can manage when I can't. I do the best I can, but my disability is getting worse. My hands are becoming quite a concern. The pain has spread all the way through the hands and all the way up to here. So my hands have become quite numb a lot of the time. It's very painful. It's not a pleasant feeling at all. And it's getting very hard for me to walk long distances because the arches completely fell. So walking long distances has been exhausting. I push myself as hard as I can. I push myself as hard as I can on my step. I already did half an hour this morning. I'm going to do another 17 minutes in about an hour and a half or so. But now after I've had lunch anyway. And I'm going to try to do another 23 or 24 minutes tonight. So I'm going to push myself. I really need to get this depression weight down because I need surgery. And well, I am living on an annoyingly tight budget, sadly. It's all juggled between food, bills and trying to keep busy. Getting to appointments is currently moot at this time because, well, pandemic. So I'm doing everything I can to keep myself busy. Not having the greatest of luck, but I'm doing the best I can. And that's really about it. I'm adjusting as best I can. I am infuriated with the amount of anti-trans bills that are being passed like in the US and the efforts by anti-trans groups here in the UK to strip trans people of all their rights. They already managed to deny trans children all medical care and support. That is cruel and abusive. That is really vile of them to deny trans children care and support. When the US want to do genital inspections, that's vile. That's going to draw the paedophiles of one. They probably will. They've banned trans children from able to play sports, which is cool. Basically, these anti-trans bills are also an attack on cis women's rights. Because by denying trans people their rights, this gives them all the leverage they need to strip away cis women's rights, to take away sports, to take away any political postures that they can do. It's all to try and push cis women to be nothing more than baby factories, to force trans people to essentially not exist, even though we'll always exist. Trans people have existed all throughout human history. They'll always be around. These attacks are the acts of cowards, of control freaks, of people determined to impose their rigid backwards order. And it's vile. But trans children are not a threat to anyone. There are very few trans people in sports. And most of them don't do very well. Like some will do as well as they can do. But it's mostly trans men who tend to be really good at tend to actually do their best because testosterone makes them stronger. Well, for trans women, estrogen causes muscle mass to decrease, stamina to decrease, bone density to begin decreasing. And besides, without the muscles, without the muscle development, it doesn't matter how dense your bones might be, it's not going to make much of a difference without the muscles to back them up. And estrogen-based HRT strips away all that muscle development quite quickly. I can barely even open a jar anymore. I can barely even get my food shopping home. It's painful. I do the best I can. I've got a choice. But no one's going to help me. No one else can help me. These constant attacks are essentially like a two-pronged attack, basically. They attack trans people, strip away their rights, which in turn affects cis women. Of course, an awful lot of cis women who are anti-trans are not thinking at all. They're not thinking rationally. They're just opposite. They're so fixated with genitals that they're not thinking rationally about these attacks. They're not considering that the rights of trans people are very much human rights in every regard. It's sickening to see such ignorance and hatred be so commonplace. A lot of it's being funded by religious groups, which is sickening. My hands are hurting really badly. Well, other than that, there's not a huge amount more to say, although I was sent a rather nice little go-bot last week by someone I know on Facebook. They sent me this little gift and I'm really quite surprised. I used to have this figure back in the 80s when I was a child. I had it twice. It used to be sold in Christie's. It was a local shop. It was a fair while back. And now I've got the figure again. It's a female GoBot called Sparky. Very simple, yet charming little figure. Very simple transformation. Very simple. Just basically that. Then that. Laying that down. There you go. One nice little vehicle with little rubber tyres and die-cast metal. Very nice little figure. So, that's it. Not much else to say. No, the Star Trek graphic novel collection ended, as well as the Transformers graphic novel ended. The Star Trek one sadly ended 20 issues short of our full completion, which is a shame. It would be interesting to see it fully finished. Some things I can't really say, so I can't really say them. And that's about it. That's it for another 6 months. I don't think there's going to be much progress. I would love to take the next step in my transition, but I don't think it's going to happen. So, this is Elena Watt, signing off for another 6 months. All done.